Hello, my beautiful co-creators. This is Isolde Kalaman from Journey of Awe. And as you know, we are doing the Karma Cleansing Week 101. The misconception about forgiveness, and especially when you're in the path of spirituality, awakening, every time when a negative situation comes up, we try to approach forgiveness as love and light. I'm spiritual, I'm above this, I can do this, I can forgive. And we kind of push our feelings under the rugs. Or the best analogy what I could use is that energy like balls that are created in our energy body and our emotional body. And the more unapproached or unresolved feelings that come up, what we like to do by forgiveness and what we assume forgiveness is, that when a negative emotion shows up, we are putting this under the water. And then another negative emotion comes up and a negative experience. We have anger, we feel anger or resentment or feel of deception. And again, we're trying to dogmatize or just put it under the rug, or again another ball and we're putting it down with our hands. Well, question, how many balls can you keep underwater and how many hands you got? Because these emotions eventually gonna pop up and another one you're trying to push down. So it's a constant battle and you use a lot of energy trying to push these unresolved feelings from popping up. Well, and I experience this too, because when a situation comes up, I just say, well, I will not allow myself feel negative. This is negative, and I pretend this never happened, and I'm love and light, and I'm spiritual, I'm way above this. Well, guess what? These energies are active elements of our emotional body, and as hard as we try to keep them down, they are active in our subconscious beliefs. These are like programs on our computer. Something comes up that will trigger this emotion, and guess what? What happens to these balls? They come up to the surface as an experience. So the best way to do forgiveness is always approach it from two perspectives, and that is the victim. Because eventually when these circumstances come up, we'll feel victimized by it. Like, wait a minute, I thought I forgive this person. Wait a minute, I thought I let this go. But if you don't release the emotion that's been stored in your body, these balls or these programs will gonna pop up. So, like I said, the first perspective gonna be feeling the experience as a victim. Going through the experience as a victim. And the second step is to recognize that who's the common denominator in the story, and that is you. You are the owner of the storyline. So let's approach this from the place of the victim or being victimized by this story. So if you have a specific person, I would like you to imagine that person is sitting in front of you. And tell them exactly how they made you feel. Just say, you know what? I feel extremely hurt by you. I feel angry. I feel victimized. I feel vandalized by your actions. You made me feel this way, and just go through every emotion. And if you need to scream, scream it out. If you need to cry, cry it out. Feel what you need to feel, because these are the energetic bubbles that are existing in your experience. And for them to be burst, you need to bring it up to the surface. You know what? Let all those balls up come to the surface, because if you're not, you're gonna experience them over and over again. And those experiences come up because they're seeking to be healed. They're not there to make you mad, but actually in the anointment or the being uncomfortable is always seeking for healing. And when you recognize that when these circumstances come up, they come up to get your attention. When you allow those feelings to be expressed, because if you don't feel it, you cannot heal it. Those are the two things. whenever you're ready to forgive someone, you kind of have to relieve that, by reliving it, you can relieve the experience, that energetic, bubbled up experience. You need to, that's the way you burst it. Now, when you let everything go out, you express your feelings, your anger, your resentment, everything that is negative, allow yourself to feel it and say it. Just say it out, scream it out, cry it out. Doesn't really matter. When that's done, you go back and you recognize that the common denominator in the storyline is you. Even if it's played out by the same person or other people in your life, the program is yours. And the reason why you are replaying it, because it's an active program, an active emotional and energy in your experience. And from that place, when you recognize that, when you take your power back by saying that, you know what, this is my story. By me expressing the feelings toward this person, I recognize that this is my storyline. This person is simply a willing player that plays out my story. And many times these stories can be played by the same person or other people. It doesn't really matter. It really, the main idea is, for example, deception. Deception can be played out in many different forms. Someone cheats you with money. Someone cheats you with another person. Someone lies to you. Those are all deception. But you own that deception storyline within you. And those are the energetic bubbles. So then when you take the story back, you just say that, you know what? I am the story holder. I own this blueprint. And again, I have the power of letting go and cutting this storyline. And by feeling it, by recognizing that, and I expressing all my feelings toward the other person, you just release that pressure that was built in you and put under the rug for many, many years. And when you do this work, and you have to do this over and over until you feel the relief, and I can guarantee you, if you set this person down who you have a resentment against, and you say everything that needs to be said, you're gonna feel 1,000 pounds lighter. I mean, I'm not kidding. It's releasing that what needs to be said. And it's okay to feel anger. It's okay to feel those negative feelings. Don't have judgment against yourself by feeling it. Many times we don't allow ourselves to feel this way because it's not okay. That's not a nice person. Well, you know what? You are behind doors. You are behind your own doors, and let it out. And the next step is that you forgive yourself for owning this storyline. And you choose to let go of all patterns that reminds you of this, that would repeat this in your life. And you just release it because you recognize it now that it was your story. And you let go of this person and all resentment toward this person because you recognize they are simply a willing player playing out your story. And this is, guys, a process. This is not a one-time thing. Forgiveness, it's a constant process. And you have to forgive until you live, because this is how we create karmic debts. We always win in co-creation. And co-creation can cause frictions. But recognizing them, reliving them, allow yourself to feel the feelings, what you need to feel. Taking your story back, forgiving the other person, recognizing they are simply a willing player playing out your own story. And I mentioned this before, how you recognize this is yours? Well, because you are the common denominator. Anyone who offends you out there, who is it happening to? You. Even by different players, the story is yours. Well, have fun with this, and you'll see that you're gonna have an amazing release of these and bursting of these energetic bubbles and buildup in your aura, in your experience, and you're gonna feel so much lighter and happier. Well, happy forgiving.